Welcome to the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 11 minutes. My name is Jeremy Pook and I lead Senior Attorney Match. In today's episode 56 of the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 11 minutes, we will address why the mid-2020s present the right time for senior attorneys to sell their law firms. So let's jump right into it and look first at where is business development today in the legal industry in what we call today's 3.0 digital era. So we're now in the post 2020 3.0 digital era for business development for the legal industry. So what does that mean? That means that now that we are in this digital age, we were thrust into it, pivoted into it in 2020. The legal industry has developed its business development now very much from a digital standpoint. Google, we're saying, is the number one referral source for lawyers today, and lawyers and law firms are investing significantly in Google, also investing significantly in social media, really multi-channel digital marketing, where clients today can find lawyers on Facebook, LinkedIn, Threads, X, Instagram, and more. Of course, your websites, where clients are coming onto your websites, they want to review multiple 5-star Google reviews, and really they want to get to know, like, and trust lawyers well before even speaking with any lawyers at your law firm, let alone asking for a referral, because they can just go online so conveniently to explore and learn about you and your law firm. Next is audio video. Clients today are searching and looking for lawyers, watching them via YouTube clips, listening to them on podcasts, and business development, of course, continues to happen old school. Call that in-person networking, handing out business cards. Hence, in this post-2020 world, business development is happening digitally and primarily over Google and other forms of multi-channel digital marketing. So why did that happen? The reason why lawyers and law firms have entered into the 3.0 digital age is because clients are now conveniently able to search for lawyers online. Law firms are investing in multi-channel digital marketing. As a result, those law firms that are investing in multi-channel digital marketing are attracting more clients than those law firms that are not investing in multi-channel digital marketing. And that's where many senior attorneys lie today. Many senior attorneys who grew up in the pre-Google word of mouth era are just not keeping pace with multi-channel digital marketing. And as a result, they are not developing as many clients as they did in yesteryear. So next, what we'll explore is that we are also in the age of the vanishing rainmaker. That is, because we have entered into the 3.0 digital era for the legal industry, where business development is happening so much today online, where clients can just go to Google and ask Uncle Google, please tell me who's the best fill in the blank attorney near me. As a result, the rainmaker attorney is just becoming less and less relevant, because that rainmaker attorney is just being bypassed altogether by searches online by would-be clients for lawyers and law firms to hire. And as a result, the 3.0 digital era for the legal industry means and really coincides with the age of the vanishing rainmaker. So, in terms of the writing is on the wall, we want to make it very clear to senior attorneys in particular who may not be adopting multi-channel digital marketing that you are on notice that the age of the vanishing rainmaker has begun, and that the writing is on the wall, that you are not going to develop as many new clients as you did in yesteryear. Because if we just think about, for example, when was the last time that you ordered 500 new business cards because you handed out those business cards similar to what you did in the pre-2020, let alone the pre-Google world, when you went to all types of networking events and handed out business cards. Heck, even looking at myself, I was considering ordering new business cards for a conference that I'm planning to go to. And instead of ordering new business cards, I developed a digital business card instead. The writing is on the wall that today's would-be clients are searching for their lawyers and for law firms online. We're handing out less business cards and developing less business from a word of mouth standpoint than over multi-channel digital marketing. And now let's look at the impact that developing less clients via word of mouth is having on that all-important book of business. The most important, vital, vibrant, valuable asset that senior attorney-led firms have when they're considering to sell their practices is their book of business. Most senior attorneys built their books of business the hard way during the word of mouth era by handing out hundreds, even thousands of business cards. Well, considering that we are now in the 3.0 digital era, where so many clients are searching for lawyers online and literally bypassing yesteryear's Rainmaker, if you're not investing in multi-channel digital marketing to develop business online, then your book of business is not going to replenish as much as it did in yesteryear, coupled with the fact that your referral sources are likely starting to retire. And for those lawyers and law firms that are not developing new clients digitally, year over year, your book of business is not replenishing as much as it did in yesteryear. And as a result, will become less valuable to potential buyers. Now let's look at why the mid-2020s present the right time for senior attorneys to sell their law firms. So for senior attorneys that are considering selling their law firms, we need to recognize that post-2020, clients are searching online for lawyers to hire. As a result, if you're not investing in multi-channel digital marketing with a significant investment in Google for clients to find you when they're searching Google for the best lawyer that fits their needs near them, and you're just not going to generate as many clients as you did in yesteryear. Now let's make both an analogy and a distinction. So from the standpoint of an analogy and a distinction, technology, it both enhances convenience for consumers, but it also detracts from the previous industry that had benefited before a digital disruption happens. So from an analogy standpoint, we've all lived through the digital disruption of Uber, right? Like, who doesn't remember hailing taxis in whatever city that you live in? Uber comes in and disrupts that industry technologically as a result of being able to just go onto our phones, click on an app, order an Uber, get into the Uber, and the taxi cab industry, as a result, totally bypassed, really obliterated, because the Uber drivers, they don't need the yellow taxis and they don't need the taxi cab medallions. The consumer very conveniently can just go onto the app, order that ride, and hence, Uber's motto: we reimagine the way the world moves for the better. Now let's make a distinction between the digital disruption of Uber and where we are today in the legal industry. So unlike Uber and other examples of digital disruption, so just to name a couple, Amazon and Netflix, okay, and of course we just described Uber. The digital disruption that's happening in the legal industry, yes, when it comes to growing law firms today, they are attracting more clients than senior attorney-led firms, because growing law firms are investing in multi-channel digital marketing. Well, now is the best time, that is in the mid-2020s, is the best time for senior attorney-led firms to consider selling their law practices, because senior attorney-led firms, you still have clients. So unlike that digital disruption, when you think of Uber, Amazon, Netflix, when taxi cabs and Blockbuster and Sears, an example, are just totally bypassed by the consumers that can very conveniently, just with the touch of their fingers on their smartphones or their remote controls when it comes to Netflix, as compared to having to go down to your local Blockbuster store. Today's growing law firms, they still need senior attorney led firm clients. That is, senior attorneys, you still have books of business. They may not be replenishing as much as they did in yesteryear, but that digital disruption is really eroding the value of your book of business. It's not completely replacing it. However, and this is what we mentioned earlier, is that senior attorneys are on notice that we are now in the age of the vanishing rainmaker. And as your book of business does not replenish as much as yesteryear, your book of business is going to become less valuable to a growing law firm if you're not presenting as many clients as you could when your book of business is as filled with clients and referral sources as it is now in the mid 2020s as compared to later in this decade and into the 2030s. Because if you're not investing in multi-channel digital marketing, you're just not going to be able to replenish that book of business, as well as competing growing law firms who want and need not only your book of business, but they want and need your experienced workforce, lawyers that work with you, talented parastaff and legal assistants that work with you, and really the treasure chests of digital content that you have via the subject matter knowledge that you've developed over the course of your careers that growing law firms need in today's 3.0 digital era by converting your subject matter knowledge into digital content to attract that all important attention of would-be clients who are looking online for lawyers and law firms to hire. Hence, now in the mid 2020s, while your books of business continue to have clients and referral sources, now is the best time to sell your law firm. And that is the state of the market for law firm sales in a little bit more than 11 minutes.